Beardo Benjo.
Hello everyone, I'm here today wearing my PlayStation hoodie for this very short video because Sony have just announced that the PlayStation VR 2 or PlayStation 5 VR is a real thing that's in development that is going to happen at some point in the future. That's pretty much the full details we have so far, but I think it's still worth making a short video just to talk about my feelings on it because I'm very excited. I think it's something that should be celebrated. It's good to know that Sony didn't dip their toe into the VR market and then get out. It's good to know that they're going all in on VR as a future technology, because it is future technology and it is something that's still growing. VR, in all truth, is still in its infancy, and it's only recently with the success and launch of the Quest 2 that we're really starting to see the first steps into possible mainstream adoption of the medium and the genre. So it's great to see a big company like Sony doubling down on their investment in VR and saying, yes, this is something we want to do for the foreseeable future. Now, for most people, this probably doesn't come as a huge surprise. There have been rumours and whispers and speculation about a PlayStation VR 2 for quite some time. So most people probably saw this and thought, okay, at least we have confirmation now, but it's still good news, in my opinion. The blog post, however, did detail something that will be a bit sad for most people, but is expected for me anyway. We won't be seeing the PlayStation VR 2 or PS5 version of a VR headset this year. It's not coming anytime soon. I expect we'll see it in 2022. I'd be shocked if it was much later than that, given that they're announcing it in 2021. Give it a year's lead time to kind of build some suspense, build some excitement, possibly show it or tease it at E3 this year. That feels like the right time frame to me to get people excited and to get people going and hyped up for this new headset. For me personally, I'm more excited to see Sony continuing in the VR space than I have been about a lot of VR headset developments over the past few weeks. I've heard that we're likely to see a new Valve VR headset this year. Great, bring it on, let's have it. I've heard that we're likely to see another Quest iteration either this year or at the start of next year. Yeah, I think it's very likely, it's very exciting. But PlayStation's announcement excites me more than either of those and any other VR headset announcements that I've heard of recently. And the reason is, I vividly remember how excited customers were when I was showcasing PlayStation VR in the store when I worked in a game store. That's the first time I've seen a wide, varied mainstream audience play with a VR headset. We sold that thing to everyone, young and old. It was the first taste for me of seeing what VR can do if it's sold to the right market. You know, you can knock the PSVR now. If you try it against most VR headsets, it does have its shortcomings. It isn't the best when it comes to resolution. It's a plasticky feeling thing. It is pretty lightweight, which is great. Visuals can be blurry and murky at times. You can say all of those things, but it was a success. It sold like crazy to an audience who probably had never engaged with VR before, and that's the important thing, and that's why I'm so excited that they're staying within this technology, because they can continue to bring VR to the mainstream, and VR going mainstream is surely what we all want. We all want that technology to reach as big an audience as possible, so we have more engaging experiences, better games, higher budgets, and just more stuff to play with, because we love the medium and we know its potential and we want to see it grow. And I think Sony being involved is a huge step in the right direction, which is why I'm so pumped up and which is why I put my PlayStation hoodie on. Now, there really isn't much more detail to go over, but I will read the blog post out just so you get the idea of kind of where they're coming from and what they're angling for. There's a few key details in here which are worth hanging on to, but most of it is effectively just them saying, yes, we're making one. No, it won't be this year. But I'll dive into it nonetheless. More than 4 years ago, we launched PlayStation VR. That is shocking. I can't believe it's been 4 years. I am getting old. To offer a transformative new way to play games on PS4, providing a much stronger sense of presence and deeper immersion to players compared with traditional games. In that time, we've seen tremendous experiences and have propelled virtual reality gaming forward, including highly acclaimed titles like Astrobot Rescue Mission, Tetris Effect, Blood and Truth, Moss, Beat Saber, and Resi 7. When you break it down like that, they have had some fantastic exclusive titles. They haven't mentioned Farpoint in there, or Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, or Hitman 3. PSVR's got some great content. Yeah, it really has been a fairly strong VR title. It could have benefited from some more. It's quite a small selection of games, I guess, but the exclusives that are in there are pretty strong. Today, I'm pleased to share that our next generation VR system will be coming to PlayStation 5, enabling the ultimate entertainment experience with dramatic leaps in performance and interactivity. Players will feel an even greater sense of presence and become even more immersed in their game worlds once they put on the new headset. So straight away they're confirming that this new headset is going to be PS5. From that sentence and from that paragraph alone, I would go forward assuming that the PSVR 2 will not be compatible with the PS4. That's not a hard confirmed announcement, but I would probably take that little grain of information and assume it, just to be safe. It would make sense that they're going to leverage the power of the PS5 to create an even better VR headset going forward, so it makes sense to me anyway that it won't necessarily run with the PS4 consoles. We're continuing to innovate with our new VR system so that our fans can continue to enjoy the unique experiences that are synonymous with PlayStation. We're taking what we learned since launching PSVR on PS4 to develop a next-gen VR system that enhances everything from resolution and field of view to tracking and input. It will connect to PS5 with a single cord to simplify setup and improve ease of use while enabling a high-fidelity visual experience. Honestly, that is probably my favourite line in the entire blog post, the single cord to simplify setup and improve ease of use. I just love that. The PSVR, love it or hate it, is one of the most cumbersome things to set up. Even now, it is just a labyrinth of cables and power supplies and connections. I packed mine away for quite some time and broke it back out when Hitman 3 came out, and I was shocked remembering just how much setup is involved in that thing. It isn't easy to use, so hearing one cable, fantastic. Also another point in there about enhanced field of view, brilliant. Field of view is one of the things I think we need to see improving with all VR headsets going forward. Resolution, of course, it's going to have a higher resolution. PSVR now, when you play that, especially looking at scenes which are inherently black or inherently dark, you can almost see the individual pixels, or the kind of, you can see it breaking down into chunks. It's immersive once you've been in it for a little while, but it's tough to get into because the resolution isn't fantastic. And tracking and input. So tracking, again, a massive thing. Right now on PlayStation 4, we've got to rely on the camera, which does the job. It's serviceable, but all of that tech is starting to feel old because it's been done better by other companies. So it's great to hear that they're investing the time to create something that feels next gen, or at the very least current and competitive with what else is on the market. I say that last bit was my favourite bit. This is probably the best bit. One of the innovations we're excited about is our new VR controller, which will incorporate some of the key features found in the DualSense wireless controller, along with a focus on great ergonomics. That's just one of the examples of future-proof technology we're developing to match our vision for a whole new generation of VR games and experiences. I've been saying this since the start. They needed to invest in a proper VR controller for PSVR. They got away with using the PlayStation Move controllers for basically an entire generation of games, and for the most part they made it work. But they aren't serviceable enough to propel them forward to have more immersive experiences, things we're seeing on Quest and on PC VR. You can't fully appreciate that on a PlayStation 4, on PSVR, because the controllers just aren't good enough to handle it. For one, we don't have thumbsticks on there. That's something you need. They're cumbersome wands, and again, the tracking's not great because it's just tracking the light orb on the top. So it's great to hear that they're investing some time in some proper VR controllers. And the really exciting bit in there is that they're using some of the DualSense features. DualSense controller on PS5 is the best controller I've ever used. It is lovely. If they use that haptic feedback in a VR controller, that's exciting stuff. And then finally, there's just a little bit of kind of a thanking of all PSVR fans who have stuck with the platform and the continued support. And then there's the line about how there's still a lot of development underway for our new VR system, so it won't be launching in 2021, but we wanted to provide this early update to our fans as the development community has started to work on creating new worlds for you to explore in virtual reality. So it is very early in development. We're not going to see it this year, but it is happening. As I said, I would hazard a guess that we'll see this thing in 2022. It would make sense that they might tease or announce something at E3 this year, or maybe Gamescom, one of the big events, and then we'll start to see that filtering in for a 2022 release date. I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. Sony have the power to make VR mainstream, much like the Oculus Quest did with its exceptionally approachable and appealing price point. They nailed that price point and made it a must-have gift for Christmas. You can see how crazy people are going for PS5s. It's still almost impossible to get hold of. People are paying crazy prices to filthy, dirty, horrible scalpers who I hate very much. And there's a demand for that machine. So a VR headset landing on that machine that's exclusive to that machine, that is next gen and has all the features of a fully fleshed out VR headset for PC, that's a win-win all round. It's great news for VR. It's great news for PlayStation owners. It's just great news for gamers. I, for one, am excited. What do you want to see in a PlayStation 5 VR headset? Let me know in the comments down below. Are there any features or specific little things that you'd like to see them do and incorporate in the headset? There's a lot of stuff I can think of, but I don't want to rattle on for hours and hours and hours. It would be great to get some feedback from you guys and have a conversation. I'm excited. This means it's another step in the right direction for making VR mainstream, getting it to a wider audience, and giving us more experiences. Very, very excited. Hopefully Sony play nice though and share some of those experiences, because I'm still sad that Resident Evil 7 never came to PC VR. Has this made you want a PS5 even more than you did before? Or maybe you weren't interested in a PS5 at all and now you're actually quite interested in it. As I say, let me know in the comments, leave a like, hit subscribe. I do content almost every day, and I'll see you soon for another one. Take care of yourselves, guys. See you later.